gives a fuck back before you're torn apart. You're packed with the devil, ain't stronger than the holy arts. And don't be trying to bring that shit in here where we operate the knowledge that inspires your darkest fears. You sit there bragging, wear some robe you made. What you gonna do? Your first world pagans can barely throw shade. Before I come to hunt you down in silence, here's a quick lesson in the spiritual science. You see, robe is to bath as bath is to water. So if water is to wine, is how fucking drunk are you just to wanna?
How fucking drunk are you? Okay, I'm here. Welcome to the stream today. I have the most exciting news. I'm going to share it with you, and we're going to experience it together. Y'all, listen to this. I got my first copyright. It wasn't a strike. It's a copyright claim. It's a takedown notice. So now I get to figure out what to do. It's from the episode I did yesterday when I was talking about the woke AI, and then Chris came on. So I need to go back and figure out what I shared that was copyright, and I need to take it out and then repost the video without it. So it will still be available, but I have to figure out what the copyright is. Hey, Jeff, I got my first copyright notice. So I'm going to go through it and try to figure it out. Let's see. This is what it looks like. Hi, Gen X Jeff. After a manual review. So it was a manual review. There was somebody reported. So this wasn't a bot. Ooh. So this was somebody reporting me saying that I'm using material that's not mine or something. Has claimed some material in your video. As a result, your video has been blocked and can no longer be played on YouTube. Goose Gods Hindi? Adiyita Movies? What the hell is that? Oh, they tell you what is this? Dang, they must have some good algorithms. Oh, I better not show it on screen because I just got a copyright strike on it. Anyway, that whoever this is, Aditya Movies. Did I play a trailer or something? I don't know what that is. But anyway, apparently I showed it in the video. It might contain copyrighted content. Copyright owners can choose to block YouTube videos that contain their content. You don't need to take any action or delete your video. How to unblock. If something went wrong or made a mistake, we have a dispute process. You can also remove the claimed content using Studio's editing tools. That's what I'm going to have to do. Okay, so that's what a copyright claim looks like. It's not a strike. It specifically says this is not a copyright strike. I don't, it must be some YouTube clip I played. My ex used to do that. He worked for Microsoft for one of their intellectual properties. And he, one of his jobs was going through YouTube and like seeing when, I didn't play anything, seeing like when people were using that particular thing in a video and then taking it down, like reporting to YouTube and having it taken down. So whoever this movie company is, they must be doing the same thing, or they have bots to do it. Let's see. They're not that big. You've gotten them before too, Jeff? And then you just take it out and repost the video. That's all I have to do. Chris says I didn't play anything yesterday. I don't remember playing anything yesterday either. I remember looking at ChatGPT and then you came on, but we might have like talked about something and pulled up a clip to play it or something. So could be that, but I'll see. Or maybe it's, I didn't play any music other than your own music. You think it's a sample from one of your songs? Like, are there bots that good? They have 30 days to dispute it. So they have 30 days. They've already disputed it. You can choose not. I don't monetize at all. Like, I don't have my channel monetized. I'll look into it and see. Anyway, if y'all want to come on and talk, that's the most exciting thing happening with me right now is I got my first copyright thing. I was excited to get it because that's how I'm going to learn is from going through it Like I learned the rules by breaking them, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm not supposed to do. Maybe after I'm done it, yeah, sure. And Chris or anybody else that wants to come on. Otherwise, I'm gonna go through Twitter, look at YouTube. I generally try to only play clips from my friends' streams because I feel like they would be okay with it, and they can always talk to me one-on-one if they're not, and I can take it down. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris will be coming on. Let me see if I have anything on Twitter that I bookmarked. Also, I'm not happy about the microphone. The sound was, y'all know I have that articulation disorder. The sound wasn't as strong as it was when I had it right here up to my face. But I think I'm going to leave it like this. Okay. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show this. I didn't watch it all, but this is about gender and non-binary, and I think this is a gending. But let's watch what she has to say about this. Oh, hang on.
I was just misgendered in my life.
Wait, how do I blow it up? All right. She was just misgendered, and she's given her story.
I was just misgendered in my local FedEx.
Oh
The
my
woman
God.
behind the counter asked her coworker, "Did you help that guy yet?"
Oh.
And after further observation,
I
she
would not
goes,
think you were a
"Poor
guy."
lady." See, immediately, my thoughts were, cancel this woman. Ruin her entire life. Because she called me what I look like. Just kidding. That's what y'all would do. I, on the other hand, am aware that I look like a guy. Look at me. Am I a guy? Nope,
Not
just
really.
a dyke. But this
Good
is your
good
message.
old-fashioned
If you
dyke.
look like a guy, they're going to call you a guy. If you look like a chick, they're going to call you a chick, regardless of what you identify as. Okay? And stop taking it so personally. In fact, you'd be a little happier if you could laugh sometimes. Laugh at it. Ha ha. It's funny. It's funny. Okay? It's funny. Just saying. Okay, bye.
But she is my new hero. She is the hero of the week. That is the approach. I can get claims for that. Like she would have to do it, right? So like maybe that's what it is, because I play stuff on Twitter all the time, but all the people do. Paul plays videos on his channel all the time from Twitter. Other people play Twitter video. I mean, Twitter's public. Anybody can go on Twitter and see that shit. So you're saying that the girl, she was a girl, right? The dyke can go to YouTube and say I played her video on my show and I can get another claim. So maybe it was just playing a Twitter video, but it said some movie company. Well, I'm not going to stop playing videos because they're on Twitter. I mean, she's wanting to get the message out, right? That's why she made it. It's TikTok. That's what social media is. People share. Like I'm helping her to spread her message. Okay, let's look at this tweet. It's about Satanism. Individuals must be held accountable for the consequences of their actions and not be allowed to scapegoat society, history, or other supposed outside influences. Megas Peter H. Gilmore, Church of Satan. Yes, that's my position on it too, with all the woke stuff. I talk all the time about internal locus of control versus external. You're at the mercy of these invisible social forces that are responsible for everything that you're unhappy about, how your life turned out, or you have some agency and accountability for the direction your life took. I think what managerial libs would love is to be like late Soviet bureaucrat, little privileges, the confidence that comes with educating the will of the party, the power to take away someone's apartment and otherwise arson them if they displease you. Yeah, that's kind of how I see the woke and the cancel culture. People, managerialism, I'm starting to call it. It's obnoxious. All right, here is Chris and Juniper. Oh,
Hey guys.
good morning, Juniper.
Yeah.
She's, you know, kids like our generation grew up on the TV. She's gonna grow up on the YouTube.
Yeah, I know. She's growing up being on the YouTube. Be a streaming
Hey,
kid.
Juniper, I want to program her brain so if like I end up in her old folks' home or something, that she takes good care of me. Hey, Juniper.
She said, "I'll be nice to everybody. I'll be nice to everybody."
I've never been good with babies, but she makes it so easy. Someone might have got mad and reported you falsely. What does that mean? So, like, YouTube doesn't even check if they're right. I can go report anybody I want, and they'll send one of those emails.
That is true. You can do that. From what it said, but it looked like it was from a Hindi movie company. It looked like some sort of thing that owns like Hindi, because it says something. It said like the content was something Hindi. You certainly didn't play anything in Hindi. I have no idea.
It's a South Indian music label.
Okay, so they must recognize, like, they must have a bot that hears something in one of my tracks that sounds like something one of theirs. I've heard this happening before. I saw a video somebody did a while back where they use like a sound they created in a video, and they got copyright claimed by some by the same thing, like by an Indian company, and like it sounded very similar to something they had in one of their songs, and they copyright claimed it. So I guess don't play that whatever track you played yesterday. Just don't play it again, I guess.
I'm not gonna stop playing your track.
Well,
why are you culturally appropriating Hindu music?
I'm not. I've never used a single sample. The only samples I've even used in any of those tracks that are on YouTube are usually from like a couple from couple of TV shows, and a couple of like. But I haven't yet used any Hindi stuff at all. So I've never used anything Bollywood.
Could it be like that their music showed up on some TV show?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. Everything I even have samples from is really, really, really obscure indie stuff. It has such a small fan base. I don't even think that. Seriously, the one song that you played, the only one I can remember you playing yesterday was like I can't remember. It was
I can tell you, it was Born to Break.
Yeah, see that one doesn't have any samples in it. Not that I remember anyway. I used some standard instruments that are in the DAWs. They could have like that same instrument, that same note could be hit another thing, and in one of their songs, the bot can pick it up, and they would have to. I don't know. I was it could be that like that weird little like horn sound I used, that rare sound, something like that could be used in like 1,000 different things. This kind of things happens though with music, but that's just so stupid though. What's really stupid to me is that like they blocked your video entirely. It doesn't even say like it's not like the video is like you can't monetize it, because you don't have it monetized anyway. Your channel isn't monetized, so I don't even understand like what they're even trying to do. Like they just asked it to be blocked. And
I don't think I'm even eligible for monetization. Don't you have to have a certain amount of? Yeah, they took it down completely.
Yeah. You have a certain number of subscribers. I have no idea, man. That's just it. It's a certain number of views and subscribers, I think. And so, it's got to be from that song, but I don't have any idea like what it could be, because like that song wasn't constructed out of samples. That song was constructed out of like instruments, so it wasn't used. I didn't take samples from a movie or anything and do that, and I've never done any sample from any Hindi stuff anyway. So it was just be from like just a virtual instrument that I used that sounds like something similar to something they've done, I guess. So. That's really bullshit. It really is.
Yeah, it seems like I still have it in my my database, so I guess I can just edit it from there. And
I just cut the music out of the beginning of it. But they're saying that, but it doesn't say you can get the video put back up. I guess you can repost it.
Yeah, you can. Let's see.
Makes it sound reading.
You can also remove the claimed content using Studio's editing tools.
Okay, yeah, well, just remove that.
But I don't want them to have. I don't want if this is not a valid claim, I don't want to have to take your music out.
It's not that big of a deal. I just don't think. I don't think it's worth like this. It bothers me too, but I have no idea like how I mean, because they're trying to they're saying like it's this content here, but like you didn't use that. I know you didn't use that content because I made that track in freaking in what's the name of the I use Reaper. I use a program called Reaper. I made that track in Reaper, and like I know for a fact that it's not. that there's nothing from any Hindi movie or Hindi music or record label in there. So like there's no. But I don't know how you could dispute it really. Does it even give you the option to dispute it?
Yeah, it does, but it says not to do it unless I'm confident that we have a dispute process. Please only use it if you're confident you have the rights to use all the content in your video. So if that's the only thing in the video, I'm confident that I have the rights to use it because you told me.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah, I made it. And, yeah, that's really weird, man. I've like I said, I saw it like through some other YouTuber. I can't remember which one it was that did a whole video about going through this process, like the whole like copyright claim thing. Did a very similar thing happen where like they used like a sound. It was just like a sound effect and like one scene of like a little skit thing they did or something like that, and like the whole video got like, but he was actually a monetized channel and everything. So like they were like claiming the money from his views and everything like that, and he had to like go through this whole freaking like process to dispute it, and eventually the company took it down the claim themselves, I guess, or something like that. But it's more likely it's an automated thing anyway. It's not it says there's a manual review, but that doesn't make any sense.
Well, the company probably has bots that comb YouTube and find whatever. I know, but it doesn't say report to YouTube.
And then, but this is saying that someone on YouTube reviewed it manually and decided that it was valid.
Oh yeah, it does say a manual review.
Yeah, it says if you fail a dispute, you can get a strike. So like, don't do that.
It says after a manual review, a copyright owner. So that means the copyright owner did the manual review.
Maybe.
Like the copyright owner watched it and claimed that I'm using their material.
Yeah, I mean,
the bot could have alerted them to watch it.
Yeah, the bot could have, it could still say manual, but it could still be a bot that's doing it. They're using their own bot because how many views does that video even have?
If I fail the dispute, then I can get a strike.
Yeah, that's
why.
What he said.
Why? That's like disincentivizing people to.
Yeah, it is.
Dispute. Like they're like, we have this dispute process, but then if I don't make it, I get punished for using the dispute process. That's fucked up.
Yeah, the whole thing is really heavily biased in favor of any corporation that uses the system to try to take claim over things.
Yeah, I'm already wanting to go to Rumble or something, just because it's such bullshit. Hey, Jeff. Good morning.
How's it going, Jeff?
What's up? How's it going?
So, how many of these have you gotten, and what were they for?
Like 2 or 3. It's when I make the typing videos and I use clips from other YouTube videos. If it's under 30 seconds, then it kind of has like that, how it has when you publish a video. I don't know if you ever published a video though. It streams. Like when you live stream, after a while, it processes and it goes through a copyright check. And if that copyright check gets triggered, then you get a copyright claim.
They said this was manual, which means somebody reported it.
Someone might have just been a dick or something. Someone might have got offended at what you said.
I don't think so. I mean, it says some Hindi company, so it's got to be some sort of automatic bot type thing. But like I said, I would just cut the beginning off of it, like, and since you only use it at if you ever want to use it track again, just use it later in this. It's probably they have bots
I don't accept those. I don't accept those restrictions that some like person that doesn't even own the music can bully people into not using legitimate music. I'm not capitulating to this.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want you to go strike or something because I've heard of people being completely in the right and still getting it judged against them just because someone's not. Yeah, I've heard
if you're in the right and you're getting it judged, that's injustice to me. And
it is.
That's like true. Where are the social justice warriors over this?
They're not a big deal. It's just like if you were to dispute it against somebody, like if I were to dispute mine, which are legitimate YouTube channels, and I failed, then I can get a copyright strike. But there's rules and guidelines. Like I try to use other people's content for educational purposes, and that should abide by it. But it's just not that big of a deal. I don't want to get a strike, so I just let it be.
But he's saying this is music he created that they're saying they have a copyright on.
So that's
And
the only thing it
bullshit.
could have been, was just his clip.
That's
Yeah,
what
he
he
just-
thinks.
he-
I haven't
he
gone
just-
back and rewatched the video.
he
yet.
just- he
It's
just played,
possible
like-
there's like a Twitter video or something in it.
It could be, but I mean, it's got to be because you use Born to Break, and like it's got that sound that, I mean, I have to admit, it's not from. I didn't sample it from anything, but it does sound very kind of like it has like a vague.
That
kind of
doesn't
sound
give
of, like,
them copyright.
right.
Yeah, it's
But
probably just like
it's a
algorithm.
Hindu music company. It does say that. Like I looked up the company that reported me, and it's a music company.
It said like Goose Hindu or Hindu Goose or something like that.
Yeah, God see.
Maybe we should play it again, see if it happens again.
I
Yeah.
think I've played it before.
I think you did. I think you played it in another stream the other day, just the other day. But I mean,
But they're trying to claim copyright on something they don't have copyright on. And that's
In that
what
case, you probably could dispute it, but you're not monetized anyway, so it's not that big of a deal right now.
it just sucks that they just took the video down, though. That's the only thing.
Oh, they took
I know,
the
but I'm a
video.
Satanist. I have
Yeah.
to fight against pointless and arbitrary authority.
Dispute it. I mean, it sounds like you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't. I
Yeah,
don't.
probably will. If that's what it is. I don't know that that's what it is. Chris is saying that's what it is. I'm going to watch the thing. And if that's the only thing it could possibly be, yes, I'm going to dispute that
There
they
you
have
go.
copyright over Chris's music.
There you go. You could stream your prohibited video right now. And get it out there anyways.
Oh, well, they won't. I don't have access to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you-
can't even watch it?
They took it down. Live stream
Oh.
keeps it. I have it on StreamYard.
Yeah, it's probably in StreamYard.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It'd be the StreamYard. Yeah, I guess you could. Can anybody post to Rumble? Is Rumble free to upload to as well? I mean, could you just put it up on Rumble if you want to? I guess.
I think so. I wonder if Rumble has live streaming.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It seems like StreamYard will probably work with it if it does.
Oh, I don't think it does.
Oh.
Yeah, they only have certain platforms you can stream to. I don't remember seeing Rumble.
Oh, okay. What platforms can you stream to from StreamYard? Can you play like Daily Motion or something? I don't even know what other video platforms are even out there besides, like, I guess, like Twitter and Facebook and X or whatever. I mean, can you stream to Twitter or X or whatever?
Well, there's
anymore?
something called custom RTMP, so maybe that lets you do Rumble. It's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and something called Hopin. And they have
LinkedIn.
custom. Yeah.
People stream videos on LinkedIn.
You can stream to a LinkedIn page or a LinkedIn profile.
Crazy! I did not know that LinkedIn had. I didn't know people still use LinkedIn. Basically, I kind of forgot it was even a thing. But it's like an app you only really need when you're looking for a job, right? So, like, I mean, why would you? I guess because if you're constantly looking for
People use it.
for other
It's like
jobs.
social media for business, for professionals. They use it to promote their services. They write blog posts.
Okay,
They make videos.
that sounds cool. I guess I mean, it's been around forever. I never really used it, so I don't really know.
I never use it, but LinkedIn is scary because I pulled it up one day, and it looked at. I think it was like people you might know or something. It had every single person in my life that I've ever known. It had like the next door neighbors, cousins. Like my entire life was mapped out on this people we think you might know section.
Facebook's done that to me
People I
before.
hadn't even remembered that I knew. It had our connections to each other.
Oh, it knew how you knew them?
I don't. Well, they have like circles. So they show how
okay.
far out of your circle the person is.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was about to say that if it actually knew how you do those people, that would be creepy.
But it
But
looked
otherwise
like
it
it knew
just-
every single person that's ever been in my life from birth. That's how scary it was. Look at this list.
Is it connected to Facebook or something? Does it get information from Facebook or from your email or
I
something
don't
like that, or
think it
contact
is. I
list?
think it's
Oh.
its own thing. So it uses whatever network you feed it. It uses that to trace all these other people you might be connected to. Like people I went to high school with, and their families, and all that. Coworkers, classmates, people from the neighborhood. Just every single person I ever remember knowing in my life was somehow on this list.
that is pretty crazy. I mean, I guess I remember I haven't really seen it in a while, so I haven't been. I mean, Facebook did that to me a long time ago, but anytime Facebook thinks I know somebody, it's someone I've never even heard of before. So I don't know if they got bad at it or what, or maybe they just found everybody already knew. I don't know. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the restroom fast. I'll be right back.
Okay, what's up, Jeff?
Not a whole lot. Just wanted to pop on a few minutes. I got to get off soon, though.
What's
Yeah,
new
was
with you?
Not really. Was anybody in your audience that was pissed off at you yesterday?
Not that I know of, but they have that little drama going on with some of the other streamers that I'm peripherally related to, so it could have been they're like trolls and they try to dox and swat and harass people.
What's doxing again?
But this where they like give all your personal information, where you live,
No.
who you are, which I don't care. Like everybody knows who I am. I'm not trying to hide myself.
Yeah.
If
people
you're
really want-
anonymous, they reveal your real name.
No. Yeah. People really want to find you. They're going to find you.
But this is a company called Aditya Movies, and it's the largest South Indian music label.
Yeah. There's probably some weird. It's hard to be original anymore. And all those computers just pick up the algorithms that probably picked up something similar to theirs.
But that doesn't, just because their algorithm picked up something similar doesn't automatically give them copyright over it.
No, that's why you can dispute it. If you're sure, then you could dispute it, and it's not that big. I guess we keep jumping back to this, but yeah, I don't think it's a huge issue though. If you dispute it, you'd probably win because you could just even give him like his email or whatever. Say, this is my song. Here you go. Look at it. I give him permission to use it or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what they said. If you're confident you have the rights to it, and it's
So
Chris's song, so if I have at least the right to Chris's version of it.
Yeah. So you're getting kind of worked up when I did that interview with Rex today, right? You're like just
I wasn't
dying.
worked
to
up.
ask-
You seem more worked up than I was.
Yeah. I just seen you
He
kept
just-
asking questions over and over, but we had kind of an agenda to go over, you know?
Yeah, I had lots of questions,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean I'm worked up. He just seemed there's a lot of people from the left that seem to have this very distorted view of Republicans from like 30 or 40 years ago, and they don't update it. And he seemed to be working off of that like outdated view, and it's a very like reductive, narrow, stereotype, caricature version of the crazy religious fundamentalist Republicans that are somehow in power and taking over everything. And then the socialism part too. But everything else I pretty much aligned with him on.
Yeah, those evangelical Republicans.
Yeah, they have no power. They're not a threat to anybody. Like I have a friend that thinks the Supreme Court is this Opus Dei conspiracy. It's this Catholic offshoot organization or something in the Federalist Society, and there's a conspiracy to put all their people on the court and control the decisions. So I don't believe in that conspiracy theory.
I don't know. The people in Supreme Court are definitely old, outdated Bible thumpers, it seems like.
But I evaluate them on their individual rulings, and they lay out their legal reasoning pretty well in their rulings. So I don't believe like they have the decisions made ahead of time because they're all conspiring together in a back room with this Opus Dei and Federalist Society organization.
Yeah, I think people give the government way too much credit. They're not that cohesive. Kind of like how people really believe the earth is flat, like all these pilots and navigators and surveyors and stuff are keeping this secret. Like millions and millions of people are keeping this secret that absolutely has no bearing on anybody who cares if the world is flat or round. But I don't know. People have strange
Yeah,
thinking.
NASA's a cult too. That's the latest one I heard.
Yeah.
But at the root of because Paul had JJ McCullough on his show, and JJ was the same way with the Republicans. It seems to be a bias against our fear of religion in general, superstition and religion. And then Republicans get painted as these superstitious cretins that are living in this religious dark age. And that's just not my experience of Republicans, the ones I interact with. People can have religion and not be stupid, not be ignorant. And so the implication seems to be if you have this religion, and it's particularly Christian religion. So if you're a Christian and you have this belief in God or Jesus or the resurrection or afterlife or whatever, that makes you unintelligent and or less intelligent than the rest of society and ignorant. And then we talked about his managerialism too, and that you have to be kind of managed and led by the people that see through that particular illusion.
Yeah, he
And
is.
there's also a fear that if they get power, they're going to establish a theocracy. Well, during Trump, they had all three branches of government, and nothing even remotely looking like a theocracy happened.
Oh, that border wall is pretty sketchy.
Well, yeah, but that's not religious based.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Trump is Christian. He claims, isn't he? I know he claims that Power Positivity book, which is really Christian slanted, is kind of like something he promotes sometimes. Are you a Republican or?
No, I'm a centrist, but I'm very sympathetic to. Like, I have a lot of friends that are Republicans, and I don't like seeing them mischaracterized and maligned. Like, people on the left, I expect it from, but these are people that are not necessarily on the left, but they still have that mentality toward Republicans. And all it indicates to me every single time I see it is that they just really don't interact with. They don't have Republicans in their life, or they wouldn't be so ignorant.
Yeah, they just completely shut them out. I mean, someone has a political viewpoint that's different from mine, I just don't like completely dismiss them. That's kind of like what they do, I guess.
Yeah, they shut them out. They have them at this very remote distance. They view them through social media, and they other them.
Mm-hmm.
And they other them in a negative way that I think reduces what they actually are as people.
Kind of like saying all liberals are these extreme leftists, but that's not always true either.
Yeah, and that's easy to do because they look the same way when I see them through social media. My roommate is he's pretty woke. He's not extreme woke, but he's like in the Vosh level of wokeness, and so I get to interact with an actual person from the left, and yeah, he's some of the stereotype, but he's more than just the stereotype.
Are you pretty
adamant? So when you're seeing people through social media, it's easy to like think that they're all this one stereotype.
Do you get along with them, or do you share your views with them too?
Yeah, we fight all the time about politics, but as long as we're not talking about politics, we have a lot in common. We get along fine.
Yeah, any other hate mail or anything like that from your channel?
Any what?
Any like hate or anything from your other content? Anybody get on and?
No, not so far. Who would hate me? I don't expect to get any hate. Other than this little drama crew, I went on another friend's stream a few weeks ago, and I got attacked for 4 hours over the Satanism, and then they started attacking the friend for having a Satanist on. So that started a bunch of drama. That was the catalyst for a whole bunch of drama. But that's not my circle anyway. So they can fight about all they want. All I did was go on the stream. But the guy was doing it to all the other guests too. So it wasn't like I was being singled out because he was attacking and going off on. He had a meltdown. He was going off on everybody. But the fact that I was on the panel seemed to be the initial catalyst that caused the meltdown. But then it just kind of revealed his personality type. And he was the type that was going to do that to anybody for anything if you gave him a reason.
Yeah, people don't have lives. They just get on here and just harass other people. It's just weird.
They're trolls. They're terminally online.
Yeah.
Which I am too, but I try to do something constructive with it.
Yeah, I that panel we went on last night, that was something, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of like that ortho guy, whoever. That's kind of, he was like a mild version of these trolls I'm talking about. They go on panels, they scream over everybody, they harass them, they insult them, they curse them out. The guy I'm talking about used the N-word over and over all night long. In this, in that. They don't let anybody else talk. You can't have a debate or a discussion with it. And so that's why I didn't get much out of last night's stream, because it wasn't the environment where we could actually have the conversation about race.
They didn't even listen to what you said. I mean, to anybody, what anybody said, like no matter what
No,
anyone
they
said, they would respond to something like that they imagined. It was bizarre. Like I went on and I just said like, yeah, I think that race is probably a real genetic thing, but I don't think that I don't think that it has any bearing on like how good people are or whatever. I can't remember what I said, but then like what they responded to was not that. They didn't respond to what I said at all. They responded to something completely different and started going off their own little like weird tangents of things. I was just like, I don't even know. This isn't even like a drama thing. I don't even know what this is. It's just crazy people. people that are really, really desperate to believe that their race, that them being white is really, really important and really the best thing. It's just like they don't have any reasons that they always, everything was like, oh well, the white culture is clearly the best because if not for us, then people will still be doing human sacrifices or something like. It's like, it's so stupid. It was just so retarded, man. It was so dumb. I couldn't even like. Once he said like he's gonna drop some people, I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was not going to stick around for any more of that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Seems like our society has this belief the loudest person's the one who always wins the argument. It doesn't matter what you're saying. As long as you're loud and sound confident, you're good.
Well, on social media, it seems to be. On Twitter, on live streams.
And in many cases, in these debate circles, it sits like that too. Like there's so many debate. People don't get traction. They don't get attention unless they're the loud, confident ones. And those are the people that everybody pays attention to. That's the reason why you have Vosh out there. That's the reason why you have people like Vosh or Hassan or Destiny and all the other guys. That the main thing they're good at is sounding confident and screaming their points. Occasionally, like Destiny's at least Destiny's a little more tactful about it. I think he's a little bit better. He doesn't just scream, but occasionally he does the same thing that all of them do. Eventually, he does the same kind of lowest common denominator tactics. Yeah,
basically
that's what. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I was gonna say it's basically how Trump muscled himself in a presidency. Basically, just he's a talker, bullshitter. He's like king of the bullshitters.
Yeah.
That's when I debated Andrew, he kind of used that because I was trying to like get at the logical underpinnings of the arguments, and he kind of used that tactic with me. But then when there's other people on, he'll debate very rationally and logically. Like with Vosh, he was trying to use logic, but with me, he was using more these rhetorical kind of
bullying
tactics. In a way, they are, but it's a style of argumentation designed to push your point without actually making the logical argument for it or addressing the other person's points.
It sounds like bullying to me.
What was the debate about?
That was the one I did on. It was on gay marriage mostly. It was supposed to be on Satanism and gay marriage, but it ended up very little to do with the Satanism at all. Mostly about the gays.
Yeah, weirdly enough, he didn't seem to have as much problem with the Satanism. He was mostly just upset with the gay marriage thing. It's just so funny.
One troll on Machine Stream was the first person I've encountered that had an actual issue with Satanism. It's always the gay or the autism or some other thing.
It's just so weird. It's like it seems like that would be the triggering one especially for an Orthodox Christian, right? It just shows you that they're not far off from Satanists, I guess. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I think Satanists are way better than Orthodox Christians if it comes right down to it.
I know there's a lot of woke Satanists that I can't stand. I take each person on an individual basis. There are many ortho bros I would spend my time with more than a lot of Satanists that I know.
I will say though that the thing about I think the ortho bro thing is actually maybe worse than woke because they're trying to pretend to be anti-woke and they're still acting woke. Like they're still doing the same
little
bullshit.
cult that Jay Dyer ortho cult, whatever. But that I don't think that's all of the ortho bros.
No, I'm sure it's not. It maybe just like, but I'm just saying like I hate that even more. At least the woke people will even proclaim that they're woke. They'll even like take it as a badge of honor to a degree. And like I don't like them for doing it, but at the same time I respect that more than people that are being like, no, we're so anti-woke and also using the same bullying tactics and the same bullshit like purity testing and all that crap like that. I hate that crap.
Yeah,
brigading people.
I said that before. That is the closest thing on the right to woke that I've found so far. It's the way this little cult. I guess it's a cult. It seems from what the little I have looked into it, it has some of the features of cult-like mentality and behavior.
It's a cult. I mean, if it's got cultish thinking, and it's a cult to me. I mean, like it may not be literally a cult. It may not be an actual literal cult that we, in the sense that we think of a cult, like people in robes and stuff like that, or even like but in terms of like the way they act and like they react to people that are attacking them, and the way they kind of all like they have like these like really one-dimensional like perspectives on things, like like us good, them bad kind of thing. Yeah, it's a cult. It's just. And like, cause like the bad part of the cult stuff isn't like the rituals and the robes and everything.
I know that's the cool part.
Yeah, that's the cool part. Exactly. That's the cool part. Yep. I just, it's so weird that that you got copyright struck for that. I mean, assuming that's what it is. It's got to be that. Cause I just don't remember. I remember because we didn't do a really long stream. You went about like maybe 25 minutes before I came on, and you were doing the Chat GPT thing, and you were like asking Chat GPT those questions and stuff like that. And then after I came on, then what was what's his name came on too?
Who came on? I don't remember.
Hank? Is it Hank?
Oh yeah, Hank.
Oh, Flamo.
Yeah, Flamo. Yeah, Flamo came on. Yeah, Hank came on, and we were just chit chatting back and forth, like that was what we were talking. It was actually fairly interesting, though. I mean, there was some interesting stuff we talked about, because he was telling us all about about his particular views on the what was it Igorgors.
Oh, Igorgors.
Yeah. Because of the Igor thing, we were talking about like what could be and what couldn't be an Igor. It was a fairly interesting conversation. It sucks that they took it down.
Jeff has a typology channel. Do you know your MBTI type?
No, I did it a long time ago. I can't remember what it was though. I never took it very seriously.
I'd say extroversion for sure. Let me see if I can. I don't know if he's S or N. I'd say N, E-N, T, although he seems very balanced between the T and the F. E-N-T, J, P.
Sounds Ian. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of interaction with him. Sounds like ENTP, maybe.
That's what I am.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of similar vibes.
I don't know what any of that stuff means anymore. Like I read about it, and like I remember taking one of those tests a long time ago, like I don't know, years back. But I didn't. I mean, should I pay more attention to it? I mean, I was under the impression it was kind of BS. So is it not?
MBTI is. I don't like the MBTI, but there's a whole other study that's within it. That's like a part of it.
That's probably. Sounds like that's what I need to know about then, because like NTBI just in general just never seemed all that. It seemed very similar to horoscopes to me.
I don't know. It's a way of organizing your perceptions of yourself and others. I found the Enneagram more nuanced and complex.
You get her some more. One. Sorry, baby's hungry. She ate the rest of
now we're getting to see the full range.
She ate the rest of her bottle. I mean, she's still in a good mood, but she wants more bottle. That's just she's just trying to let us know. That's the only thing. Whenever they can't talk or anything, that's the reason why toddlers and everything throw fits and everything, is they don't know how to communicate, and like they don't fully have the entire grasp on everything, so they get frustrated.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Here you go. She's just learned to eat snacks though. See, she's got little baby snacks here. She just learned to eat.
What are baby snacks? Is it like the Gerber things?
Yeah,
yeah. We used to eat those as kids.
Yeah,
I like them.
They're like little Cheetos, but they dissolve. Yeah, so like she put in her mouth and it just doesn't. It doesn't.
Styrofoam peanuts.
Sort of, yeah. They taste like Cheetos though. They do. They taste just like a Cheetos puff. Like they're not terrible or anything. I mean, I won't feed her anything that I won't eat, So yeah, I'm not going to eat her food snacks, but I always try anything that me or Lindsay will always try anything before we give it to her because I know I hate like the most baby food stuff. It's so gross. Like,
We used to eat, me and my sister would eat baby food as grown-ups just for fun. We'd go to the store and pick out some jars of baby food.
You do like
So
30
it was pretty
jars.
good, especially the creamy ones. And then the plum, one of them was plum. I like that one a lot too.
The fruit ones I have no issues with. It's one of the ones when they start putting meat and stuff in them.
The vegetable ones are gross.
Yeah, the
And
vegetable
liver.
meats.
Okay. Oh, I gotta stop talking about this.
Yeah, I can't say that kind of stuff. But I mean, like the whole idea of it is like you're trying to get feed that stuff to them when they're really young, so they have a more diverse palate as they get older. Like, but we do stuff like that. I mean, the other day, like I was mashing up little pieces that we got a little sushi thing from the store, and I was mashing up little pieces of the fish and just like giving her just little tiny bits of it. And she was like, she really likes it. She likes to eating any kind of like. She likes trying everything at this point. They're just at that age. So if you feed them lots of like various stuff whenever this age, as they get older, they're usually not as picky. That's what I learned with my sisters anyway, and that's what we did with Clover. But then her grandmother kind of like I don't know, traumatized her somehow by like tricking her to eat something, and she got all paranoid about people feeding her gross stuff. I guess I don't know. She doesn't. She's picky now, but she didn't used to be.
Jeff, you work tonight? How's the work situation going?
Oh, I start a new job October 9th. I don't work
Oh.
tomorrow, but I'm probably going to call it.
What is the job?
It's crisis mobile response. So basically, like when people have a mental health crisis, they call 911 and there's no police intervention needed, or as they deem, they kind of send us out and we assess them and we see if they need like hospitalization.
So you're like the mental health cops.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're doing that in Seattle's rolling out that too. They're calling it the third. They're gonna have police, fire, and this mental health team. It's the third arm of not law enforcement, but emergency services or something.
I think that's good myself.
We definitely need a trauma-informed society, but we definitely need like first responders and stuff.
I think they should go with the cops, not necessarily on their own.
Yeah, you never know. It could be real dangerous. Someone could be homicidal and have a weapon, pull it on us, or
either they hadn't yet at that point. They might get that way, right? If they're really unstable. So
yeah, definitely. I worked at a behavioral health hospital, and this one guy tried pulling a knife on us.
He was an inpatient.
Yeah, we were checking him in and intake, and he refused to give his bag over. Lucky there was like 5 of us surrounding him, so he went to go grab the bag, and we all grabbed him. Then we had like a big old butcher knife in the bag. So it could have been bad, but
I had to do a few takedowns myself when I worked inpatient.
Oh yeah, you said you did, right? Yeah.
They kick up if they get triggered the wrong way.
Yeah.
But in my experience, the people, I don't know who they're hiring in Arizona, but in Seattle, the people they hire are like these young people fresh out of social work school. They have no clue how to de-escalate like these scary, angry men or psychotic women, or like they're helpless against.
Yeah. Just like more and more positions.
I can imagine them going on these calls and by themselves and doing anything effective.
Yeah, more and more people are just like, you need a degree for this, you need a degree for that, and I don't have a full degree. I'm close, but I always outperform people who have degrees and stuff, and it takes that's just something that takes experience. Like I've worked in prisons and stuff, so I have a lot of experience like de-escalating and dealing with belligerent people. Someone like a 23-year-old with a bachelor's in psychology isn't going to necessarily do it.
Yep.
Fine having a degree and all, but it's not really necessary. I got to get going here in a few minutes too. My son has like an online appointment.
Okay. Well, good chatting.
And definitely
stop by anytime. And if you want to cook something up for your show with me and that guy, I'd be up for it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about having like some kind of debates in there. I'm kind of like boxed in the typology, and I kind of want to break out a little bit, but you have to be pretty niche.
Or if you want to come do it on here, we could do that too. Whatever you feel.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'll go on your show and you can diagnose my typology. I don't care. I don't know what you do on there. I've never seen your show, but
yeah.
I definitely.
He also does astrology charts.
Yeah,
I'm open to whatever. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'll get your contact information from Jeff or whatever, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay, take care. Okay, and anybody else, as usual, can hop on if you want. The link is at the top of the comments.
I've been trying to find like work at home work again. And I just there's just like nothing out there that's not like a scam or anything. There's tons of scams out there, but nothing that doesn't require like that isn't asking for like money up front. I don't trust anything doing that. It's like they want.
Oh
me to,
no,
yeah,
I wouldn't either.
Not that I have any money anyways. It's not like I have money to put into it even if like if I don't have it to even in that case. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I got a job thing the other day. It's like just 2 days ago though from a staffing agency that's looking for someone to be a master data analyst, and like I did that for Amazon. I was a data analyst for Amazon. But I don't know if it's a good idea or not, even if they offered it to me, because like it pays a lot. It pays like $75 a year, but I think it's for some sort of bottling company. It said something about bottling.
Hey Joshua. Oh, 4 a.m. Wow. What kind of evening are you having? Or is it just insomnia? Yeah, good to see you.
Joshua he's in Vietnam, is that right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. He's like literally the other side of the world from here, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, well, get some rest and we'll catch you on another one. You didn't miss anything on that panel last night, by the way.
Yeah, you definitely didn't. That was that was something. I mean, I didn't expect them to be that unhinged. I really didn't.
Part of it was too large, and you had the troll. All it takes is one or two trolls to ruin an entire panel.
And I mean, and one of the trolls was the moderator. That was the guy hosting. That's part of the problem. He was also jumping and shouting over people and shouting his own like weird agenda stuff over everything. Didn't matter what anybody said. He had something to say about not as much as the ortho bro guy, but the main guy. He was just bad. He kept saying some of the most racist stuff. I think whenever we went on there, like before we went there, he was saying like it was like the white guy with the mask on was like the really racist one, and he wasn't even consistent. I don't even understand what his deal was. He was like, yeah. That racist back down at your first statement. Yeah, I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I said the thing, and he was like, yeah, absolutely. He was like saying, yes, that's what I've been trying to say the whole time. And like I was like, no, you haven't been. You've been saying all that white people were superior. And he was like, no, that's not what I've been saying at all. I've been saying that everybody's equal in the eyes of God. Like I was like, what the hell is even happening here? I don't even understand this. If this is what the debate panel world is like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not cut out for that because I can't even like. I just felt confused the whole time. We're just lost. I had no idea what was going on.
I was bored. I was doing a logic puzzle in the background the whole time.
I couldn't tell. You looked like you were paying attention, but yeah. I mean, I should have switched that. But I was sitting there most of the time, just kind of flabbergasted by like what is even happening right now. And then I mean, at least Cascadian came on there and like he was being sensible, and and like everybody kind of jumped in to shout down that one guy.
Trad culture.
Yeah, the snowman guy.
Oh, I didn't even hear him talk. He was the one playing on video, so I couldn't even tell when he was talking. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I think you dropped out for a minute or something. Maybe you went to the bathroom or something, and like, or something. But I don't know. But I just noticed you didn't seem to like hear what he said. But he jumped on. He started saying a whole bunch of stuff and started yelling at the TCPS guy or whatever it was called, and he started yelling at him and like. But he was like accusing this guy of like shouting over him, but he was the one shouting. It was just stupid. And yeah, he was accusing like that guy of being like a leftist, like being like a leftist snowflake or something like that. And I was just like, he didn't say anything like that at all. It was but that's what the whole thing was. Everybody was singly focused on like whatever their worldview was. And they didn't even hear anybody else. They just wanted a chance to jump in and shout their worldview. So it didn't even matter what the subject was. It was just weird. I don't know what the point of that. It's a bunch of crazy people.
That's what I'm noticing. People like social media is turning us all. It's regressing us to junior high school. We're treating each other like stereotypes and social groups, and like the first moment they can associate you with some stereotype group, and that's what Trad Culture said. He said, "See, I'm trying to present facts, and you're already characterizing me. You're already calling me names and characterizing me as a liberal or a leftist instead of listening to what he was actually saying." And that's what they do. They do it with. I see left people doing it with Republicans too. They have this caricature stereotype of what Republicans are. Republicans have one of what liberals are. Different religions have it of what religious or non-religious people are. And that's what happened in junior high school, where you had the jocks and the nerds and the misfits and the cheerleaders. We're like the Breakfast Club all over again.
Yeah. No, it's. In fact, if anything, I actually have to say, like, I think I had more. I think my experiences with high school kids and just in high school in general were generally more constructive than that. That was something below. That was something I would treat more almost like elementary school kids that just yelling about what their favorite toy was.
Junior high.
Yeah, junior high, elementary.
They haven't evolved emotionally beyond junior high school way of perceiving the world. Like,
and they have a handful of facts they get from the internet, and they carry this bag of facts around with them like it's like their bag of weapons, and they try to use it. Doesn't matter if the key fits the lock. They're going to try to shove that key into everything they can, they're trying to fit like squares into circles, squares into circle holes all the time.
Going off the edge of civility. Well, I'm not necessarily on the edge of civility myself, so I wonder if it's just that. It's definitely human nature, but it seems like the adults I know, when they leave junior high and high school, and they evolve and mature, and then they're not doing the same thing at 40 years old that these people. I don't know how old they are, but they seem at least like 30s, maybe.
Oh, some of them were much older than that. Some of them were much older than that. Like, yeah, I think the guy that was hosting looked like he was probably late 20s, early 30s. Ortho Bro was definitely young, but I don't know how young. Probably 20s, I guess. But I mean, he could be. He had the cadence and the candor of someone who's like some young 20-something-year-old, thinks they know everything kind of thing. I think. Cascadian, the other guy, the TCPS guy or whatever his name was, I don't think that was actually it, but I think he was. They still seemed youngish, but then there was the supposedly really racist guy. He was like old. He was older than any of us. I think he looked like he was in his 50s, 60s, maybe. He looked older than everybody else there. I don't know. When we got there were some black people in the panel, and they all left.
And then they said, "Where did all these white people come from?"
And all the black people just left. I'm like, so it's not white flight, it's black flight, I guess, in this case. Like, white people showed up and all the black people just left. I mean, I actually wanted to hear some of their. I thought the few of them that I heard talking before they left, I thought they had much more interesting things to say than the Ortho Bro guy and stuff like that. But oh well, like they took off. So.
They do the same thing. It's what the woke do. It's one of my criticisms of the woke. They reduce people to their social demographic, social categories, or ideological or philosophical category, instead of seeing them as individuals.
Yeah. It's like I mean, I know there's an element of that we all do that to some degree, right? We all put people in categories. It's part of our way our brains shortcut.
Maybe as an initial shortcut. But
yeah, exactly.
The goal is to go beyond that to the individual.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Oh, you're clean. Are we helping you clean better? I hope so. At least I'll feel like I'm doing some kind of good.
Yeah, there's a few people.
Be your body double.
Yeah. There's a few people that tune in and listen to us ranting about whatever. So
yeah.
Yeah, but like I mean, you're right. They all do that. I mean, like I said, like, yeah, we all do it to some degree. I know, in the sense that we all have we all do that shortcutting thing in an initial type sense in order to just kind of move your way through the world. But after that, you start if you encounter someone one-on-one, or at least even in a small group setting, tend to treat people as individuals. You know, I don't. And like it's like and there's like some people that don't even want you to treat them as individuals. Some people want to be treated
No,
like a member of the group. That's what they
no.
actually are
That's
doing.
because we're Gen X.
Yeah.
And now color blindness, color blindness is racist. It's a barrier to understanding and seeing systemic racism.
Right. Yeah.
Wife is gonna. Ooh. Well, sounds like y'all have some domestic drama brewing. Yeah.
He's gonna beat
I don't
you.
know.
Huh?
I'd want to beat you
dangerous,
too if you told me you were going to clean the house and stay up till 4. Were you on the internet the whole time? Yeah. Oh, well, let us know what happens. You'll make up for it, though, Patty says. Yep. Yeah, I think that's really your best approach at this point.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you know, I sympathize though. I mean, I'm usually the one who does most of the cleaning in my house, and I can't really do it since I can't do it very well since I got the vertigo thing. So I know how you feel. I don't get very much cleaning done, and I hate it. But then again, I guess I don't have a wife that's going to beat me about it though. So I mean, I hope you're joking anyway. I hope that is a joke and not a serious thing.
Yes, because male DV is a thing too.
Yeah, jealously is. I eat the last of things. I know. Oh, okay. I eat like the last piece of pizza, last piece of cake, or something like that. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I used to be really careful at not doing that, and then I got to the point where if I didn't eat the last piece of something, like when it was the fridge, it would just end up going bad because it would never get eaten. So I started doing that, and then you get in trouble for being the person that eats the last thing. So it doesn't matter. You can't win.
Are you talking about while the pizza's fresh or leftovers?
I mean, like leftovers, like, you know, like when they're in the fridge, I always try to you know, to like leave a piece for Lindsay or something like that for the next day or something like that, you know, instead of like eating the last piece. I mean, I don't eat that much anyway, but neither one of us do. We both have that stomach sleeving thing, so like we don't eat that much. But like, you know, when we do get things like that, like sushi or pizza or something like that we both like, you know, I always try to save it, but then she'll forget about it, and then I'll forget about it because I didn't eat it, and then it just goes bad, and I end up throwing it away. So I switched to like making sure I always try to finish things when I can. And then you know, then you get in trouble with your partner because you ate the last thing. So you can't win.
Not if you use your mouth and your words to communicate. Hey, do you want this last piece of pizza in the fridge?
You don't want to wake them up though. I mean,
it's because y'all using nonverbal.
That's true. But I mean, it's usually because she's asleep. So night, Josh.
Joshua. I hope we see tomorrow. I hope you make it out.
I'm just joking. I mean, we don't really fight about that kind of thing. I'm just joking around. Just like,
yeah.
I don't think she's actually. I've never been in trouble, like really, not seriously from that. So, you know, if it's like
probably have a healthy.
We do actually. Which is, you know, whenever everything went all topsy turvy with us, is why it threw me for such a loop, because we'd always had such a healthy, communicative, open relationship, and I mean, not open relationship. I mean, like, we're open communicatively with each other. We'd always been, you know, really healthy with that sort of thing. And like, whenever, you know, she was going through her thing, like I didn't know what was going on. I was convinced for like the first several months, you know, the first several months that like she had just like suddenly just one day just woke up and decided that she just didn't like me anymore, and it was very, very hard to deal with. You know, it was like, it was very confusing.
That would freak me out.
Yeah, it did freak me out. I mean, I was very freaked out for a long time, but you know, eventually, you know, we figured out what was really going on. But yeah, what did you say? I always give her the best piece. Yeah,
that's how it was with Mike. Mike was deaf, and we had the best communication of any human ever. He listened better than anybody I know. He could communicate better than anybody I know. And we were the same way. Like, we would fight over the last piece of pizza because we each wanted the other person to have it. Like, you take it. No, you have it. No, I want you to have it. No, you eat it. Like,
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I was the same way. I would not want him to have the burnt part.
Thankfully, I don't usually burn things, but if I do, we just usually throw it out. I don't even bother. Like, it's not worth it.
Well, I can't make that same guarantee. Unfortunately.
we have like we have like this small stomach thing, so like we, you know, it's just not worth it for us to have to eat things that are burnt or anything like that. It's just like we don't eat that much anyway. So I mean, it's really been good for, like, you know, being fairly poor and not having, you know, only having food stamps, stuff like that. Like, you know, it makes food stamps go a lot further. We can just buy better quality food, you know, better quality food, you know, in smaller quantities, and like that way we at least we eat better, we eat healthier. So that's good, you know, it works out. I need to go tonight. I need to go downstairs and make some fried rice. I have a bunch of leftover rice in the fridge I need to make something out of. So.
Oh, that sounds cool. You make your own fried rice?
I've never done it
People that
before.
cook fascinate. People that can cook just fascinate.
You know, I didn't think I could cook my whole life. You know what? How I learned to cook? I learned to cook from those freaking meal kits, because during the pandemic, like, you know, whenever, you know, it was nobody could go out and we were all stuck at home, I started getting those. I got, you know, HelloFresh. I tried HelloFresh. I tried a subscription of Blue Apron. I tried.
You mean the companies that put the pre-cooked, like they give you the ingredients?
Yeah, my favorite one was called Home Chef. Home Chef had the best quality ones. You never see them advertised on YouTube though. I know I had, like, you know, they were because they knew what was going on with the pandemic, and they gave out a lot of free trials, and, like, you know, you got a bunch of free food out of it. So I was getting that since, you know, since I'd have to get groceries delivered anyway, and since a lot of the places wouldn't even be open, you couldn't even go in there. You could only get delivery from a lot of the places around here. So, like, I started getting those meal kits, and the meal kits really teach you how to cook. Like, they'll give you all the, and like you basically just learn, like, the basics of how to make all sorts of stuff from it, because, like, it just gives you the ingredients, just give you step-by-step instructions. And I learned, like, pretty much, and then I started watching cooking videos and stuff like that on YouTube, and, like, I learned the rest of it from that. And every time I try to, like, I imagine make paella, and paella is, like, supposed to be, like, one of the hardest things to make, hardest, like, Spanish dishes to make, and, like, it came out great. I've made it 3 times, and it's been pretty. But it's kind of elaborate. It is kind of an elaborate thing. It takes like 2 days. You got to make the stock.
Lord,
Well, I mean, you're not working for 2 days, but it takes from the time you start with the first thing. We got to make the stock. You got to, like, put a bunch of shrimp shells in, like, a pot with some vegetables and all this stuff like that. And you got to cook a stock. But so you just basically put the stuff in the pot and you let that simmer for like 12 hours, and then you take the, so you go off. You don't sit there and watch it. You just sit there and let it simmer for all the time. Then you take that and you use that as the base for the rest of the stuff, and then once you actually get started doing the cooking part, it takes about an hour and a half. Okay, it's a lot more involved than anything else, but I mean, I managed to make, like, you know, really high quality bread and stuff like that just from the basics I learned from HelloFresh and Home Chef and YouTube, and like I actually really like cooking, like, so much to the point, like, if I had the money I would probably try to start a food truck or something like that, because like there's a few things I can make that are pretty good. Like paella is pretty decent, and I can make have you ever had donut grilled cheese before? That's a great donut grilled cheese. Yeah. It doesn't take anything special to learn. It doesn't take any chef skills to make it. So literally, you just make a grilled cheese sandwich, but with donuts instead of bread, and you just put bacon on it and stuff like that. They're amazing. It's really good. There used to be a couple places around here that used to sell them, and they stopped making them. So I was like, for a while, I was like, I could start my own donut grilled cheese truck, because people love those places, but they shut down for stupid reasons. Most of them just during the pandemic, places just didn't make it, you know. But I don't have the money for a food truck, so it's not going to happen. But I don't have any money, period. I've been trying like hell to find something lately, because, like, I don't think the disability thing's going to work for me anyway. It should still happen for Lindsay. Like, the lawyer seemed confident. The lawyer doesn't even seem confident when they talk about mine. So I think a lawyer's like, oh, probably, you know, don't get your hopes up, kind of thing. So, yeah, but I just can't seem to find anything. At least it'll work. I mean, even if I had to, like, I'm just worried about, like, I mean, like, I don't know that. But Lindsay's okay for here at the house for a couple hours, but I don't know how she'd do for, like, you know, if I was away for 8 to 10 hours a day, you know, like at work. I mean, the newborn and everything like that, she's still kind of weak. So I mean, I don't know. I don't mean that as an insult to her. She's right over there. So I mean, she's right over there in the other room. She can hear me, but yeah. But
I thought you can't find anything because the vertigo. You're not really looking because you're limited.
I am, but at the same time, if I could find like something that was like an office type situation where I could sit down or something, I was looking for something like that. Yeah, I can't see. If it was just a matter of like, I could take any job. That's the reason it's so hard to find something. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like the data analyst position. Like, from what I said, it'd be a desk job. So it wouldn't be. It's literally just pulling up reports on computers. I wouldn't have to use multiple screens. I wouldn't have to do all those kind of things. So like all the things that make the Vertigo really bad, I could just sit at my desk. I could, as long as I don't have to. But like I could go walk in Amazon to a recruiting station at Amazon here because there's like I don't know, there's like 50 Amazon warehouses here in Dallas area. So I mean, and I could because of the experience I have, I could get a job for one of those things instantly, but it's too dangerous. I mean, it's just like it's literally for $15 an hour, I'd be like risking life and limb every second because I mean, which you already kind of are, but like it's just like so much of a higher chance of me actually falling in, in front of pit equipment or something like that, and it's just like it's just not worth it. I nearly got hurt in the Amazon warehouses. Pretty much anybody who works there will, just because it's a warehouse, and warehouses are just dangerous places. There's something to be looking out for it at all times and all turns. So it's just, but yeah,
be a phone sex operator.
I was thinking about that when we were watching that movie last night. I thought about that, and yeah, I don't think that anybody's I don't think there's a lot of market for male phone sex operators that I'm aware of.
OnlyFans? Can you do OnlyFans?
I don't see that working out for me.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll find some weird niche like dad bod market or something. I don't know.
I'm sure it's out there.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that there is probably some sort of like I don't think I couldn't take myself seriously doing it. I think you have to be able to take that kind of thing semi seriously to do it. I don't think I could. I think I would get really I would just get embarrassed probably. I don't see that working out. I mean, it's not like I guess I really have never seriously considered doing OnlyFans, but I mean I've thought about things like that, like I could do this, I could do that, kind of things. But the closest thing to doing finding anything was like doing this. There's like a kind of called a Rise that does like where you can sign up to be like you do various training things to become like a customer service representative for different companies, but you had to pay for the training and stuff like that. And it's just and it's I don't know. It's just I don't think it would work. So I don't think they don't pay very much either. What's that?
I wouldn't pay for training. I never pay. If they want me, they can train me.
Yeah, but you're an independent contractor with them. You don't actually work directly for the company. You just like basically you pay for the training, which qualifies. You're not even guaranteed a position, I suppose. But anyway, it's since I don't have the money for it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But like it's a legitimate company. There's like I've talked to people that actually have done it before. It's not a scam, but you still have the money up front, and you have to and the contracts only last for a few months at a time. So like if once that contract ends, you have to find another one and do the whole thing over again. Anyway.
Yeah, I do contract work now, so it's hit or miss when I can find the work.
Right. Well, what kind of educational background did you do to get into doing what you do?
I'm a peer counselor. Each state has their own certification process for becoming a peer counselor. Some states don't even require certification. So you could look into Texas and see if you'd make a good peer counselor.
Yeah, I could look into that. I never even thought about it before. I don't know why I never thought of it since we've talked about it before. Yeah.
Especially now with the mental health crisis, they're using it to staff. They're rolling out all these mental health initiatives like that crisis team thing.
Like the thing he was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, he'd make a great peer counselor too, because the peers have the lived experience that the clinicians don't always have. That's why when I was working inpatient, they would call me or one of the other peers, but usually me, to come and de-escalate all the clients after they had triggered them, because they didn't know how to do that. That their school doesn't teach them that. It doesn't teach them the practical experience. And I can de-escalate because I know exactly what that person's going through and what it feels like to be having that experience because I have it. So it like creates this common experience and this common language that you can use to bridge into theirs and de-escalate them. But a clinician's not going to have that unless they have the experience of having that themselves.
Well, I'll certainly look into it. I don't know the first thing about it, but I will do a Google search and see what comes up, for Texas. And
I'm looking it up now. You do have it. Texas does have it. Let's see. Yeah, online assessment, apply for training. That's kind of how it is here. Complete the training, apply for certification. Oh, they're changing it here now, but when I did it, they didn't have it. And now they require 250 hours of supervision. And then you get your certification that you have to renew. So yours is a little more regulated.
What does that mean, supervision? Then I mean, I wouldn't be working from home then in that case, right? I'd have to be working out of.
Oh, you might be able to. They have online peer options. You could also go through the training, apply for your certification, and while you're waiting for it, just be a life coach. Anybody can hang a shingle as a coach.
I suppose so. I have no idea how to market myself as a life coach. I don't know. I don't know.
My issue too.
Yeah, I have no idea how I'd find. I don't know who would want me as a life coach either. I mean, granted, just because your life might be in shambles itself doesn't mean you couldn't be a life coach, I suppose. But if you send me the link that you found to that, so and I'll take a look at it and see if there's any cost involved in like getting the certification.
It should be free. Some states, because it was started by Medicaid to kind of staff the mental health industry. And so a lot of it's federally or state funded.
I mean, I do have personal experience with some mental health stuff with my own family,
That's
so I
all you
suppose
need.
that. Yeah.
Here, I'll send it to you on Discord.
I do know how to deal with that kind of thing. Yeah, sure. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, it certainly couldn't hurt anything. I've checked out so many other things. So, like, that's the kind of thing, like, I never even think, I mean, it doesn't seem like it seems like you would even find this unless somebody told you about it, kind of thing. It's not the kind of thing that comes up when you look for.
I know. I didn't know about it till I moved up here, and now I take it so for granted. I just assume everybody knows what it is now, but that's not the case. And two of the most underserved populations, which is what I work in, and you'd be good at too, are males and neurodivergence. So you have that going for you too.
Yeah. So there's this website called PeerForce, I guess. It's the Texas hub for peer careers. Let's see here. And they have
Patty. They have yes. Patty has a great point. They have youth and family peers too. You'd make a great.
Right. I mean, I do.
That's
Sure.
a very specific type of peer that has their own little network of jobs. At least here in Washington. What is it? What is the one in Texas? PeerForce.
Yeah, peerforce.org.
Building careers and peer support.
3-day, 19.5-hour in-person or online workshop gives you a comprehensive overview, and then you complete the supplemental training course, which is 40 to 46 hours in-person or online training workshop. Okay, so just so it's all available to online. That's cool.
That's what ours was. It was like 40 hours. This is one of the contract. They probably contract with the state to train peers.
So you complete your 250 supervised work experience hours, internship hours. I guess you don't get paid for any of that, probably. That's probably the thing that sucks about that. But I'm not getting paid anything right now anyway. So.
Yeah, I volunteered for like a year at least before I started getting into the paid stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's not. I certainly have nothing. I'm not doing anything else work wise that's getting me anywhere. So I mean, and like, plus it can't even like hurt my. There's so much overwhelmed today. Yeah, that's a good point, Patty. And I definitely will try to. I'm definitely gonna try to check into it. I mean, I might at least I could help. Maybe I could just help some people if nothing else. If it doesn't turn into a job type thing, if it's something that I can do to help people or something like that. I mean, it seems like a good thing to do. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I do. I've never done any kind of counseling work before, but I have. Well, I mean, I used to work in churches and stuff like that. I mean, I used to do. You know, I was in a church that, you know, I was a church leadership person for a while and stuff like that. So I mean, there's some counseling and stuff I did in that. You know, you do talk. I mean, it's mostly like, you know, you usually just pray with people, but you know, it's a lot. I was never the kind of person who's just like, well, let's just pray about it. I usually talk to people a lot more for that. So I'll see why. I think I could do it. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, just into it. I think you'd be good at it.
Yep, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll say, I mean, like as far as I can tell, like just like you said, there doesn't seem to be any costs associated with it, just time costs, and time is one thing I do
It
tend to
might be a
have. So.
waiting list. Like here in Seattle, it took me almost 2.5 years to get, because they kept losing my application. But so there could be like a waiting list. Here there's like they were bragging the other day, they got the waiting list down to 500 in Washington State.
Oh no, never mind. No, it does have cost available. No, I looked further down. I didn't see this thing at first. The peer specialist core training can range from $100 to $300 depending on which organization is providing the training, and for the supplemental trainings cost between $400 to $650 each.
Don't let that stop you, because you could probably get that subsidized.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm not gonna let it stop me. I'm just like I'm trying not even. I guess the only thing I'll have to do now is I have to do the talk. It says there's a thing to talk to us. I think it's just like a button to it just gives you a number to call. Just call and talk to somebody. So I will.
This says
call them.
Is Peer Force free? It says yes, and then there's financial aid. So it looks like Peer Force just helps you.
Right. If you click on financial, if you click on financial aid, though, it takes you to a 404 can't be found.
Well, one thing about Peer it's very grassroots. So.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's like there's a financial aid button. It's like clicked on it. It's like 404 can't be found. So whatever.
I helped organize the peer organization in Seattle, in our county, and it was a Facebook page. It still is. I don't think we have a official web page yet. We did it all through Facebook.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it seems like something. No, I'm kind of excited about now thinking about that. I think it's kind of something I'm kind of excited to looking into. I want to find out what they're gonna tell me. I probably
you can at least do the online course, like the online prerequisite course, because that'll give you a taste of the type of stuff. And there's probably going to be some woke stuff in it, because everything's getting slanted that way. So there'll be stuff on racial justice, and
I'm not worried about that.
Diversity.
I may not like it. But
cultural competency.
I may not like it, but I can deal with it. You know. I'm filling out the little like contact us form. I'll let them give me a call and see what they say. Because I was looking at it, I'm not sure. At first I thought like it was a number to call, like to talk to somebody, but I'm not sure that it looks like it's more like a customer support type thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna call the contact us thing.
Let me know what your experience is.
Oh, I definitely will. I mean, I fear it's something we can talk about it on stream anyway. We can always talk about. We can even do like if you want to. If we both start doing that sort of thing, we can do a podcast just focused on peer counseling.
I've done several on peer support before. In fact, some of the peers here in Washington State have expressed interest in coming on the stream and talking about mental health and peer support. My channel originally was started to be a mental health channel.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've watched some of your earlier videos, and you definitely had a big focus on that early on. So, I mean, it's still something totally worth doing. I mean, absolutely. It just hasn't been a lot of I guess not as much mental health.
Yeah, but I think even people being able to come and have conversations about anything is good has a mental health benefit to it, even if we don't specifically talk about mental health. Like,
yeah,
being in community, having a support network.
Yeah, I was thinking last night. I almost forgot about this. Like, I was thinking after I went to bed last night. I was going through my Plex server after I went to my Plex server. First, I haven't really logged into it in a while, except for like whenever I pulled up Barbie the other day. And I was just like going through it, just trying to like find movies that like I thought would be on the list or something like that. And it got me thinking about like this. At one point, one of the things I was going to try to do once I got my studio things, I was going to try to make this like it's going to make this like a short YouTube like web series. And I suddenly realized it's kind of interesting because like part of the thing that it was about building in this case it would be about rebuilding a community kind of, It's like community building in a lot of ways, which. And I think community is like, and that's one of the things I connect with you a lot. Like one of the things I connect with you and the stuff you talk about a lot is because you're so focused on like community building and stuff like that. And I've always been a very community oriented person too. Like seemed like everywhere except for here, except for like where I'm living right now, in the place I'm in my life right now. Like everywhere I've ever lived, I kind of built a little community around me everywhere I went. You know, I always had like a little like support community of some sort. You know, in Vegas, like even like after I got the movie theater I managed there, which I was a GM of this movie theater there for a while, called the Tropicana. I don't know. Did you ever see the Tropicana Cinemas? Was it around when you lived there?
Where was that?
It's on
Is that the
Tropicana.
one- we lived off Tropicana. I think that's the one where they did Rocky Horror.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I went. I went to the Rocky Horror.
Yeah, I personally, there was 2 casts of Rocky Horror. I had to. I actually had to. I had to negotiate. Now we were there at different times. I had to negotiate negotiate peace talks between these 2 casts because they were warring and trying to like sabotage each other's performances and stuff like that. And I had to host like a Rocky Horror peace summit between these 2 casts. It was amazing, man. It was in the newspaper too. Like the Las Vegas Review Journal sent a reporter down for this thing because the rivalry had gained some notoriety around, because it was the only place that did Rocky Horror in the city, and like it had gained enough notoriety they actually sent somebody from like the culture section of the newspaper. They like came and like they interviewed me, and I was in there was an interview with me in the newspaper and stuff like that, talking about like the issues, like what we did to like settle this big feud and everything. It was insane.
When were you there?
See, that was 2000, and that I was working at the theater, I think in 2006 or 5. I can't remember, 2005.
No, I mean, when were you in Vegas?
Oh, I moved there 2004 or 5, late 2004, early 2005. I can't remember exactly when, and we lived there through 2008. I lived there 2008.
Yeah, we were there at the same time.
Oh, we were? Okay, I thought you lived there in the 90s for some reason. I guess I misunderstood that.
Late 99-ish to 2007.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Like, because my daughter was born in 2007. We moved like at the end of the following
Because that's
year.
when the housing crisis.
Yep.
I was there just as the housing crisis started to drop.
Yeah, whenever everything just like stopped, like there's all this construction all the time, and then like there's these half-built buildings that just stop being built suddenly. Yes. And it would be so crazy because like things would go up so fast in Vegas. The fastest place I've ever seen construction. You'd see like a skyscraper be built in like a week, you know, and then it was like everything stopped. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. I was working for whenever the crash happened. That was when the cult stuff happened and everything. I worked for a data cable installation company for a little while, and like that I was working there when the crash happened, and like they fired everybody. They fired like my whole department. Like they fired the only people that were left were like management. Like every worker that wasn't like in upper management like got fired. So. And I couldn't find work again, but you know.
That's why I had to leave. I couldn't find work.
Yeah, that's why we left too. Yeah, it's just like there wasn't. I mean, I couldn't get hired at a fast food joint, man. I couldn't get hired anywhere.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Anyway, but I managed the Tropicana there. Like you may very well might have been at the theater when I was managing it. That's crazy. So. I was managing it there until I sold it, and that's when I stopped doing Rocky Horror. So, but like I managed it for a little over a year, we had a great. I mean, I had a great staff. I hired most of the staff that we end up having there, and like the people that were there before there, like they became like a little family, or like a little family of mine. Like I felt like they were like my family, and most of them were like high school kids, but you know, as soon as like I got when they sold the place, like when they sold the theater, and that's the reason I got let go from there. And they kept on everybody else because like the new owner wanted to manage it himself, so he just like let me go. And so I went in, and they all offered to like quit and protest and all stuff like that, and I was like, no, don't do that, it's silly. You know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I was always real building communities, and like I had this idea for a while back. I was gonna like, you remember the Harold Camping story from a while back?
Oh, was he that crazy religious guy?
Yeah. crazy religious guy that kept changing the date of like when the world was going to end and all stuff like that. The rapture was going to happen. I whenever that was happening, I had this idea back then, and I always thought it was about like a kind of a younger version of this Harold Camping type, this guy that like this young evangelistic type of like type of character that kind of like he's like a pastor of some church somewhere, and he kind of like makes this like big proclamation, like they just follows kind of the whole panel, all the billboards and all these people that believe in like his prophecy, and like they all like sell everything, and like all these people lose everything because like the end of the world does not happen, and like the whole idea was there's gonna be like this documentary crew. And I just this is why I thought it was, because I hadn't thought about this idea in a long time. I thought it was really funny because the documentary, the main person on the documentary crew was going to be a Satanist that was following him, basically like was following this guy that was doing this that was like predicting the world was going to end this night, and they were like documenting the night and everything like that, because like obviously the Satanist guy doesn't believe it's going to happen. It doesn't happen. And then the documentary crew keeps following this character. Because like he sees the damage he does to all this thing, and like the show is going to be about like him trying to like kind of make amends with the community and trying to like rebuild the community, and how it kind of becomes like where he kind of loses his faith in a way but gains his soul, kind of, it was kind of like how like the director of this documentary is like this. He's kind of, he's not, I don't know, he wasn't specifically a Satanist per se, but he called himself a Satanist, but he was really more just like, he wasn't really into the occult or anything. He just like was more of an atheist or more of a humanist, but used the Satanist label, very similar to you. It's just crazy because like there's so many parallels between just like the fact there's a community building part of it, and like the fact that there's a character like that, like this, and the whole like he kind of like ends up gaining, like the documentary filmmaker guy ends up gaining a lot of sympathy for this pastor guy, this young pastor guy, and I was even thinking, I was like, man, like it'd be really great if we get that. Because I'd love to do it, like get like Paul to play the young pastor, Can you see Paul as like an evangelistic kind of like, you can see, I'm not saying he is like that, but you can see like playing that kind of a character, because it's not a religious story. It's an anti-religious story. That's the whole thing of it. It's like it's about how like people can like get caught up in their own beliefs and something, they lose sight of like actually like what they should, because that's what a church should be. If a church is anything, it should be about a community. It should be a community. It should be about building a community. It shouldn't really be about the Bible and rules and stuff like that. And to me, in my opinion, if even the Bible itself says that religion is what the meaning of religion, the definition of it according to the Bible is charity, basically, is like
the word religion.
The word religion has a specific meaning, but in the Bible, says
the etymology means. Doesn't it mean to bind together? Bound. I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Now. To bring, I want the Latin.
According to this, it says it means to tie fast.
Yeah, that was what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think probably more people are drawn to a church for the community than the actual. Like most people don't care about the abstract metaphysical stuff.
Yeah,
that's what holds that particular community together.
And then
they embrace whatever narrative and mythology is keeping that community going. But it's the community that appeals to them and draws them to that one particular church or another.
Anyway, it's this really humanistic. I don't mean humanistic in that sense. I mean really human type of story. I wrote a treatment for a long time ago and I've lost it. I have to reread the whole thing now. But I was thinking about like actually trying to like write it out again and seeing if I could get any interest in getting it, maybe try at some point in the future to get a small budget to make it, because I think there's something to it. I think there's value in like creating a story like that I personally, I really gravitate towards stories where people come together to do something. I love stories like that. I love stories where people, like, from different backgrounds come together to, to fight the evil or to accomplish something. I have a really big affinity for stories also about people that do something that do something they enjoy doing and are really and are happy about it. Like one of my favorite shows of all time, or TV shows, or movies.
Oh, I have to take this call. Keep talking,
Okay.
and I'll.
Oh, okay.
I'll...
All right. Why we're going through this?
I missed it.
Oh, you missed it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe they'll call back or leave a voicemail.
Can you call them back? Anyway, it's just like I was just like I started thinking about that last night as I was falling asleep, and I was just thinking.
Okay,
like,
they're back. Hang on.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Yeah, I guess I'm not entirely like what you're sure explaining to, Patty. Why we're going through this, I've seen people talking about enlightenment, laughing because they still don't know. I don't know what you mean there, but yeah, I wanted to make a show, like a short series that would be like, about like this character that kind of out of hubris and like this kind of religious piety, like attempts to, makes this big, like, this big prediction, this big prophecy about the rapture or something like that. And it causes like irreparable harm throughout his entire community, through his church, and it really is. But it isn't until he does this, he gets so caught up in like, because he's kind of like a minor cause celeb, because in like what, he just like how the Harold Camping thing was, he ended up on news programs like that. I wanted to do a thing about that. I just didn't want to make him about like an old man that was at the end of his life. I wanted to make it about somebody who's younger, so that it could be a little bit more meaningful, I think, and that he would actually. He loses, like, he caused all this damage, but like it's only through that he actually he gets, ultimately, I'm trying to say, sorry, my brain doesn't work all the time. Through this kind of this tragedy he causes, he goes and tries to talk to people and gets and actually gets to know the people that were in his that were part of this community he had, and ends up rebuilding the community and ends up doing like actual good. And it's kind of like he finds real religion, if you will. And like the character that was the director, like this like kind of antagonistic at first, very antagonistic, kind of like he's making this documentary about this guy specifically to make fun of him, more or less. It's like the whole thing is done in like a very mocking tone, but then over time he ends up becoming sympathetic. Yeah. Anyway,
hang on, I muted myself. I gotta figure out how to unmute.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm really back.
Because I can hear you, so.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's it. Though. Nothing. I was just talking about like I was just basically going over like the point of like this the concept of this thing was just to be like to make something about somebody who kind of like they get lost in like this like because I saw like even though like Harold Camping was like he was an old kook, but I saw a couple of interviews with him and it made me feel like this twinge of sympathy for him, and at the same time he was still like he totally deserved all the mocking and everything he got, but I could see in his eyes that he really did. He wasn't trying to get money and he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He really believed these things. He was sincere, and that was what was so tragic about it. Kind of there was a air of tragedy to him that at the still time it's still hilarious because he was so confident about the rapture happening, and it just even though the Bible itself even says like no man shall know the hour of the day, if you are to believe in the rapture, which I particularly don't believe that's a real thing, but if you were to believe in it, you think you'd believe the part of the Bible that also says where you'll never know when it's going to happen. It's like the fact that you know when it's going to happen, you think you know what's going to happen is proof that you don't know what's going to happen, and so I really was really kind of obsessed with this idea for a long time, and I really forgot about it. I don't know. It's just like I was just looking through all these movies. I was trying to think of like some movies that were on theme, of like themes that we've talked about and stuff like that. On your show and stuff. And I just Ethan. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, she said it does that. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it would be really, I thought, because it'd be about this guy who, like, he does all this irreparable harm to his community, to his church, all these people. Like the joke of it, the joke that the whole thing was based around this, like, one idea I had, the scene of, like, this guy going, this pastor getting up, realizing that he didn't get raptured, and then going, and it's like, he thinks the rapture's gonna happen on a Saturday night, so he goes to the church on Sunday, and it's to an empty church house, and, like, just for a second he thinks maybe the rapture really did happen. He thinks for just a second it did, but no, it's just because everyone's pissed. No one trusts him anymore. He's lost all credibility, and so, like, it would be about, like, him trying to, like, rebuild this community, and, like, this and, like, the relationship kind of forms, a friendship forms between him and, like, this filmmaker and stuff like that, and, like, they gain a respect for each other. And so, I don't know, I thought it seems like it's not like a real high concept thing after the initial thing, but I do think that there's, I don't know, I'm gonna try to write it again, and I'll send it to you and see what you think of it, Jeff. I want to see what you think.
I think it depends on the acting. Could really,
yeah,
pull it off. Like, make
I
the
originally
difference.
wrote it when I was originally writing it. I wrote it specifically for this a friend of mine who was an actor in Texarkana, and he died. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I could be the statement if you want.
That's what I was thinking. That I was like, and Jeff would totally be great for that role. You could make it really, you'd make a really good, like, I can see you being, like, the director of this documentary film and stuff like that, and, like, I mean, it would. I don't have any idea. I have no idea how to get a film production off the ground. I have no idea, especially a series like that. It would be pretty low budget, though, because it wouldn't require any kind of special effects or anything.
People are making movies on their phones now. You could just pull it off.
Oh, Steven Soderbergh made movies on his phone, so. Steven Soderbergh shot 2 different films on iPhones, so, I mean, I guess it can't be that hard anymore. Granted, he shot it on an iPhone with a very specialized telephoto lens that he had attached to it. He did this, not like one of the ones you can get at, like, the store, but, like, he had, like, a custom built, like, thing so he could put an actual film lens onto his iPhone. So it's not really quite the same thing. It's kind of cheating, but still, he still recorded on his iPhone, so it is possible. Yeah, I don't know.
My roommate has experience. He's worked in video. He has experience too. I could ask him.
Sure.
What the options are.
I'll get I'll write the first episode script again. 'Cause that's all I ever written for it was an outline of, like, the first season of episodes. It'd probably just be one. It'd be a 1-season thing. It was about 8 episodes long. And then
in fact, my roommate made a movie. I can ask him because he and his friends did just that. He got together and wrote a script and made a homemade movie.
Cool. Yeah. The guy that I wrote it for said, like, they made a few movies there in Texarkana and stuff like that, and they're pretty decent. They had a lot of talent. It's really sad to hear. I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure if he unalived himself or what, but he died rather suddenly, very young. So. No one has ever told me what happened. I found out about it from a YouTube video. I told you about it before. Is the guy that did the Unforgivable thing,
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was. His name was Logan Hodge. He was a really, really, really nice guy. I liked him a lot. He's very talented. He was a bit conceited, a bit full of himself, but he was talented, so it's understandable. when you have actual talent and you're smart enough to know it, it can be hard not to get a bit of an ego about it, I suppose. I used to have
people with no talent and egos.
They have way bigger egos than the people with talent. I know. Yeah, I used to have a bit of an ego about my prowess in writing, but I don't really feel very good at anything anymore. But I used to be able to confidently say I could. I really believe that at least at one time I was a formidable screenwriter, but I never got anything really made, like that one short film you saw. So, and that was. It was my writing, but there was a lot that was cut out of that would make it a lot more sense if it had actually gotten, if there was just things that the director just couldn't do. I mean, he made it in no budget in like 3 days, so But some of those actresses that were in that short, they're actually fairly well known actually in Brazil. Like I said, it played on Brazilian MTV a couple of times. Closest I ever got to. I can't. I've tried to get a hold of that director. I've tried to Thomas, the director. I've tried to get a hold of him for the last 2 years now. I don't know if he's dead or what. I can't find him anywhere. He's not. He doesn't answer Facebook. He doesn't answer Twitter. He's like a ghost. So I don't know what happened to him. Last thing I saw from him, he got married, and then he just disappeared from the internet. So.
Oh.
Baby's crying again. Here she is. Oh, she's hungry. Here we are. Oh. She napped for like 10 minutes.
Did she eat at all? Did she get to eat?
She started falling asleep earlier. That's why Lindsay took her to go lay her down because she started falling asleep while she was eating. She lay down and woke. Now she woke right back up. She was crying so hard. She was so upset. So upset. What? You're not hungry? Okay. She just want to be in bed, I guess. Oh. Anyway. So tomorrow night, what time are we what time are we gonna start?
Oh,
we want to start
right.
the movie.
What's the movie called?
Landscape with Invisible Hand. I should probably check and see how long it is so we can properly plan that.
We can look it up.
Yeah.
We're watching Landscape with Invisible Hand. It's about aliens and streaming.
It's about
Streaming.
aliens that want to that basically pay human beings to stream their lives to them for entertainment. And then they get in trouble because, like, I don't know. I'm not going to go into. I'll just leave it at that because, like, I know you don't like any spoilers. Yeah, no, you don't like any kind of spoilers, and I'm afraid that like the trailer.
It's something about stream. People who stream and aliens.
Yep, that's all. That's yeah.
Okay, that's
you can see the poster.
Tiffany Haddish is in it.
Yeah, she's in it. The poster's got the alien what the aliens look like on it. And that's pretty weird, crazy.
They look like claymation.
Yeah, they do, and they look like that in the trailer too. But
it's an hour 45.
Like I said, the director made a movie called Thoroughbreds a few years back, and it was pretty good.
So I have us for 5 o'clock your time. It's when we
Sounds
usually
good.
meet, and then we can stream afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, I figured that way if we knew how long it was, that way you know when to plan the stream for us all. But I guess we gotta give it a few minutes. So like probably be 5:30 by the actual start time, right?
Have you seen it, Patty? Is it?
Yeah, I think she's talking.
Is it a comedy?
It's a dramedy. I think it's not exactly a comedy, but it looks like it's supposed to be kind of it's a satire. It's definitely a satire.
Okay.
Yeah, and the director's other film was also definitely a satire. So I think I can kind of guess what the tone of it is. The trailer was really interesting to me, and I thought it was. And I have not watched it yet though, so I have not seen it. So I have it on the server, and I thought it would be fun to watch. First time reaction with everybody else. So there's a couple of I was gonna say like if we're gonna watch another good show to think about watching. Have you seen Utopia, the UK series?
I think I tried to. Is that the real creepy one where like there's these 5 strangers, they're gathering together? He goes in his comic shop. Yeah, I watched it. It was disturbing. Like.
Yeah, it is, but it's so good though, man. It's so good.
Is it? I started watching it, and then it was too disturbing. I'm like, this is too.
No, it is. It's so well shot, and it's very dark. But it's like what it turns out to be about. Like I'm not going to give you spoilers, but it's very very interesting.
I didn't understand what was happening, but they were going around like just randomly killing people for. No
looking
reason.
The two guys, the 2 hitman characters, and that's what they are. They're hitmen, but there's a lot more to it. It's a very it seems all pointless at first. It seems like it's just like psychopath. They're just psychopaths, but they're actually. But there's a reason. There's a reason behind all of it. It's really really. There was a remake of it on Amazon Prime, and it was terrible. I couldn't even get through it. I mean, and it had really talented people behind it, and I was excited to see it, and I could not get through it. And it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I don't even understand like why it was so bad. It's like someone doing a bad impression of somebody. It's like someone doing a bad impression of you or something. It just felt off and wrong. I don't know. But the original UK version, man, I tell you, it's not even that long too. It's kind of similar to like the you guys the Watchmen show. I know It's it doesn't have.
Yeah, I
it's not
love
like-
Watchmen.
Yeah.
The UK version is the one I watched. I watched it on BritBox.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was an American version.
Oh, of Utopia, yeah.
Oh no, the
No,
UK
the
one
Watchmen.
is the one I talked about that
Yeah.
creeped me out.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really stay that creepy. Most of the stuff that's disturbing on it is more disturbing, like kind of in light of the last few years. Like there's some pandemic related stuff in it that's kind of it seems like the show was like it seems like the show knew it was going to happen. It really does. I mean, it's not a conspiracy or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like when you're watching, you're like, shit, that's just like what happened in real life, like it's very, very prescient in that sense. And there's at least 2 or 3 scenes in it that are like some of the most like, even if they don't show very much, it's like some of the psychologically disturbing stuff I've ever seen in anything, but it's still, it's a show that actually makes you think about and actually makes you question things. It really makes you think about the questions it raises. It does not give any easy answers to. I'll say that. And it's really good. It's one of the most interesting shows I've ever seen. And the director of it is the Last Predator movie. That was good. I liked it. It was called Prey, right? The one called Prey.
I've only seen the first one. I liked it.
The first Predator's great.
The sequels. They're doing an Exorcist too coming up.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about the other
can't
night.
wait.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I have an update for you. It was your song
Okay.
because they gave me a link to click and it shows the exact content, exact part of the video, and it's the first 36 seconds. So whoever this movie company is, this music company, thinks that your song sounds like theirs.
Considering how many infinite numbers of songs, maybe it does sound like something of theirs, but I made the drum beat myself, so it's like I made that drum beat with my sampling drums, and I was really, it's not really one of my best tracks, but it was a track I put a lot of work into anyway. But anyway, I don't know. I don't think it's worth fighting it, but if you want to fight it, man, you can.
I just clipped it. It gave me the option to clip exactly that portion, and it made it so easy. I just went ahead and clipped it.
Yeah, I think I would. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I don't have. It's just that one sound I use.
I'm bummed because that was my copyright restriction. I wanted it over to be over something real. That was such a dumb copyright claim.
Yeah, it's probably just because they have a song that used like that same sound that I used from that program, that same virtual instrument. They probably have to use that same exact clip, that same exact like sound sample in it, and they're claiming based on that, which is just bullshit. But anyway, because like those because that sample couldn't belong to them either, because it's their free use, within the app. So the program.
Patty's never seen The Exorcist. We can watch it one day if you want. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite comedies.
One of your favorite comedies? It's good. It's good.
Oh my god, I laughed my ass off.
You really did think of it?
The girl is in that bed cursing at her mama and vomiting everywhere.
I must admit, when I finally watched it, I didn't see it when I was younger. I didn't see it until I was like in my 20s, and like I'd been hearing about how The Exorcist is like the scariest movies all the time. I finally watched it, and I thought it was much funnier than I thought it was scary myself. And like I think that it's got a great tone at the beginning, but I just don't think the stuff that people act like it's so scary. The supposedly like the really scary parts of the movie, I don't think they're scary. I think they're kind of corny and kind of funny. Like I just don't. I don't know. I think it's. I do like
play it on TV growing up. Like it was one of those special weekly night special once a year, so they'd play it and they'd stretch it out because it was commercials, so it would gradually build and they'd go to commercial and you'd see a little bit more and they'd go to commercial, and it really built up the suspense.
I never saw it on television, but I mean, especially if it must have been heavily edited for television. It's got a lot of pretty not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And then I have the director's cut where there are scenes that we didn't even get to see.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's what I watched. The director's cut.
Spider walk and all that.
See, I think the spider walk was funny to me. It was not. That was
too. I thought it was a cool effect.
Yeah, it was a cool effect. It was not scary though. I think that the third one's pretty good actually. The Exorcist 3. The second one's terrible, but the third one's pretty good.
Oh wait, the second one was the one where that was the Heretic.
Yeah, that's
the third one I hated. That was the one they did in the 90s. Oh my god, that was so dumb.
I thought that I liked some of the scenes in that one. I thought that I like the one, I guess the most famous shot is like the nurse walking by and like
Yeah,
and there's like the scissor thing. I mean, I thought it was
That was
entertaining.
so stupid.
But it was more philosophical though. Like it was kind of like the battle of wits between like the demon and like the priest. I thought it was interesting. I don't know. It's been what? It's been 15, 16 years since I saw it, but you know. And that one I did see on television. That one I actually watched on TV. So that one I actually watched on like on cable or something like that. So
They're in Big Brother next week. They're doing some kind of little promo of The Exorcist 3. So the house guests are gonna probably do some little game or interact with it somehow. So I'll get a little teaser of it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I watched one of those the two recent Exorcist films, either the Paul Schrader one or the Rennie Harlan one. I can't remember which one I saw. I saw one of those two a while back, and I fell asleep during it. It was boring as hell. All right, yeah. About Predator movies, I was gonna say like the first one's good. The second one has a cool ending to it, and the only other one and everyone hated that one called The Predator from years back. I didn't think it was that bad. It was okay. It was corny, but it was kind of fun.
So Prey was good though, Patty.
Yeah, Prey was good. It's pretty good. A lot of people were complaining that it was too woke or something like that, but I didn't really think it was woke. Just because it has a female protagonist, people just didn't like the fact that it was like a girl fighting the Predator. I think, but I don't think. It was
Oh, right, I remember it now. That was the.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, I'll watch that one.
Yep, but anyway, yeah, the last Predator film was pretty good though, Freddie. I think so too. I mean, it was. I guess it was. It was a little gory, but it wasn't that bad, really. It was mostly like implied. You know. I felt like I had never. We got just like a couple of years back. Like they put Jaws back out in theaters, and it was like the first time.
The original.
The original. And we went to see it because I never actually sat down and watched Jaws from beginning to end before. I'd seen the whole movie, but I just seen it in pieces. I saw like like half of it on TV one day, and then another half of it on TV. So I never watched it from beginning to end. And I was so impressed with like how really good that movie really is. And it's really not. It's barely even about a shark. It's like the shark's not even that. The shark is like the center of conversation, but it's mostly just about like a small town sheriff trying to like deal with a bunch of bullshit politics. It's kind of it's a much more nuanced film than I think that I ever gave it credit for. It's pretty good actually. I did not expect. Spielberg. I know, but
stuff holds up really, really well.
Especially, I mean, for his first big movie, you know, it's pretty great actually.
I watched E.T. a few years ago, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe how good it was. Like 40 years later.
Yeah, I watched E.T. a lot when I was kid growing up. It was a movie I got it for my birthday one year, and like you know. I was at that age for like if you had a VHS tape of something, you just watched it over and over and over again. I watched that movie so many times when I was growing up.
Yeah,
I used to watch. We used to have those tapes. Did you ever have like the tapes of stuff recorded off television?
Really, oh yeah,
you know, yeah.
I had a whole. I got rid of them all, but I had a whole.
That's what you told me. We talked about that before. I forgot we
crap
talked about that
I recorded off of television, and then I'm like I have most of this on DVD, so I threw it all away. But I had all these like commercials and weird cable access stuff and little shows that are probably not available anywhere, and I lost all of that.
Oh man, that sucks.
I should have kept them.
Wait, my mom threw away most of the stuff too mostly because most of them had broken though. Most of the tape just broke down over time, you know. But yeah, and there's like people that just like put the stuff on YouTube now, you know, like just they call them like rewinds or something. I can't remember. They have a term for it, like whenever a time shift or something like that, where like they have the entire show plus the commercials and everything like that. If people there's whole compilations of that stuff up. I've watched them before. Like a lot of like I watch Muppet Babies with my little ones here. My little one and
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's
is that a show or a series?
It was a series. It was a kid TV series from when I was a kid.
We didn't have the Muppets growing up. We didn't have PBS. All we had was Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, Muppet Babies was on CBS Saturday mornings when I was a kid. It was
what year? Let me see. What year did it start?
It's a good question. Whenever I was pretty young enough to still like get up early to watch Saturday morning cartoons, back when that was still a thing. That hasn't been a thing.
1984. Yeah, I had long stopped watching cartoons by then.
Yeah, that was like And it's like literally I was 3 in 1984, so you know I was like it was on from when I was like 3 to the time I was about, I think there were 7 seasons of it. So, and I really watching it with, but like most of the episodes they have on YouTube are ripped from VHS tapes and stuff like that. And they still have like the bumpers and stuff like from the Saturday morning cartoon block and stuff like that. And it's like it gives me like these weird like cognitive dissonant type like head rushes every time. like I see them, like it just makes me like it's like how it's the flashback memories of that specific like hearing those specific words like at the end of every like cartoon segment. It's just weird. Really, it's like you don't really see like the people release these things on DVD and stuff like that, but it's only like watching that sort of thing that really like gives me that feeling exactly. Like it's not saying it's a good feeling. It's just weird. Yeah, Muppet Babies is weird, man. It is a weird show. It's like all the Muppets they're not really babies. They're more like toddlers, except for Animal, which is he has a baby so much to the point that he crawls, has a bonnet. The rest of them all talk and but Animals also comes some sort of like chthonic deity that obeys no laws of space or time. So he eats everything and he can like just teleport to places constantly, and like they all live in a house with this woman named Nanny, and we have no idea like how they got there. Who are their parents? Where did they come from? It's my theory is that it's set in a government installation where like they were created as some sort of like weird human animal hybrids, I think. Because they're not Muppets in the cartoon show, so everything's a cartoon. So it's not like they're Kermit's actually like he's a frog boy,
Are we still? Was it a cartoon or was it like the Muppets?
It's a cartoon. It was a cartoon for children. But it's the thing about it though is that it's the focus of the show. What makes Muppet Babies good is that its focus is on kids using their imaginations. That's the thing. And so they use all these. The cool thing about the show is it uses all these like I guess Lucas, because Henson had a relationship with like Lucas and Spielberg and everything, and because they worked with him on their movies, and so because of that relationship Henson got the rights to use all these clips from like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and stuff like that. And so it has these references or scenes for like they insert like the animated Muppets into like Star Wars scenes and stuff like that, and stuff like that they can't even do like anymore without like getting in trouble. Like I mean like this is like like stuff that say that I think it's the reason it's not really released on anything, because it's like there's the rights must be insane to work with, but it's a really it's a really good show for kids. But if as an adult watching it, it just makes your head like what is even going on? Who is this Nanny person? Why does she and she's not even like she's not even very good at watching them. She just like leaves these toddlers alone in this nursery for all day long. And she shows up to give them snacks and put them to bed, and like they're just in there by themselves like all the time. And then occasionally like Beaker and Bunsen, who are 2 other Muppet characters, and they just fly through the window on flying rocket bikes and stuff like that. And it's like, who are they? Like, where do they come from? I think later on there's even like the 2 like old men that make fun of them in the Muppet Show. Like they're even like in the show, so it's really weird.
The balcony men.
Yeah.
I always liked them.
Yeah, they're Waldorf and something.
Yeah, I very much relate to that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, they're in the last season or so, like they start coming in. I think they're like uncles of theirs or something. They said they're like uncles, but like that doesn't even make sense. It's just the show. It makes no sense. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'm excited to watch the movie tomorrow. I don't know. Are you planning on streaming for much longer tonight? No,
we can end when you're done.
Yeah,
I'm 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm done right now. I don't know. I guess we're entertaining Patty though. She's don't want her to leave her all alone.
Oh, for her to
yeah. I guess we're her like we had a pretty active comment section today for the show here.
I'm still trying to figure out how to grow. Where are some places we could grow the stream?
I mean, it's probably like they were saying last night. It's probably a good idea to go onto those panels like that. I just wouldn't want to go to that.
But
panel
we just got to pick the right panels.
Yeah,
because we want to attract the type of guest we want to be talking to.
Exactly.
Not the kind that was on that panel last night.
Yeah, the only people that we would want to you would want to come on your show were the people that we already knew that had already been on the show.
Right. And that black girl was really cool. I really liked the black girl from Liberia.
No, she was nice. She was really nice. She was the only people make any sense, but like she couldn't get a word in edgewise because like what's his name just kept like screaming over everybody all the time. But and like what's his name would like the moderator guy, he'd stop anybody but him for some reason.
Bumpkin.
Yeah, Bumpkin. Yeah, he would like mute other people and stop anybody but the Ortho Bro guy for some reason. I guess he must be one of them or something.
Bye, Patty. It was good seeing you.
Bye, Patty.
I'll probably see you Saturday. Hope maybe. Yeah. If you go, because I like watch streams all the time, and I interact in the comments. So if you do that and you see any that you think might be interesting, feel free to let them know we're out here.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I certainly will, but I don't. I usually don't go to many other streams except for Paul's. I go to Paul's streams and like any of the people from the community, I do check them out. But I seem like I miss anytime any of the people from the community go live. I always miss it. Like I never. It doesn't give you the notifications or something, but I never actually catch them when they're live. I only see like the posted live stream afterwards. So it doesn't really help any. But if I see one, I will. I think was it Delvez, I think went live the other day or something like that. I saw like the posted thing afterwards. I didn't see it when it was live.
They started their podcast too. They do theirs live in person in a studio.
I like they've been nice to me and you before. They probably be happy with like we should probably go on.
I love Delvez has been on several times. He's a great guest.
We should go on their stream sometime and like to talk to them because I like Delvez. I think it's cool. I like everybody in Paul's in the Discord community. Like I said, like I mean, I might butt heads with Rowan sometimes, but I still like him. It's a good guy.
I like Rowan too.
Yeah. I don't think anybody except for Paul in the community has much of a following yet. But I mean, it certainly can't hurt to buy again, Patty.
And I'm mainly just looking for. Yes, I want like really diverse panels to have stimulating, challenging conversations. So I'm looking for the guests to do that with more than I am for numbers.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that it would have been interesting to get the one girl from the stream last night. She would be interesting to talk to. I think. I didn't think there's anybody else on there that besides. I guess that was a TCGS or whatever person like that.
Well, he's been on here before. He's part of our little. He's part of this little streaming community that kind of. And he's on my side of the split. Him and Cascadian, Neurojack, Machine Lies, they're all.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'd never seen him before. I've never seen him on your stream, so I didn't know.
He's been on here several times. They're all like, to me, some of the more mature, intelligent, upstanding people.
Definitely. I mean, I like all of them. I like all the people I've talked to on here on your stream with you. I've liked all those people. I think they're really interesting, good people. What's that?
I said, "Oh, thanks."
No, it's really
because I try to filter out the.
Now you've curated a good community base there. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's the best. I mean, it's like you have to curate it to some degree. You can't. I mean, you try to be as inclusive as possible, but whenever someone's clearly a malcontent, if someone's clearly a malcontent, like they're only there to try to like stir up, you have to cut people like that out sometimes, and it sucks. But I mean,
and I have an eye for them because I used to kind of be that way, so I know when I see it, I can catch it early.
I can appreciate a troll that trolls in the right spirit, but not one that simply is looking to cause chaos no matter what it is or where it is. Like I mean, like because like the trolling in the old school sense of the word back in the day, like the Barrett Brown 4chan style trolls from back in the day, their whole purpose wasn't just to cause chaos anywhere. They were simply trying to take the piss out of people that took themselves too seriously. That was their thing. It wasn't about just causing chaos for no reason. It was about these people take themselves way too goddamn seriously, and like someone needs to do something to show them that they were taking themselves so seriously, even if they'll never see it. It shows everybody else they are anyway. And I always appreciated that. I always appreciate I consider like almost like troll activism to a degree. Sometimes
I was an AOL troll, and we were the same way. It was all entertainment for me, and I learned from the best. So.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that myself back in the day. I can't say I can't say I don't know how effective I ever was, but like, and Lindsay used to do some Twitter trolling back in the day too. So a little bit.
I'm not a troll, but I do end up trolling sometimes, not even necessarily intentionally. So my purpose is not to go and troll, but I find myself engaged in that activity often, despite myself.
Well, sometimes you just can't help it.
Some of these people are there to intentionally disrupt.
You just can't help it sometimes. Some people just need to take themselves too seriously, man. You have to. Sometimes you just have to, like, whenever people, especially like it kind of sucks with like some of the wokesters though, because like it's like there's this you ever seen Homestar Runner?
What's it called?
Homestar Runner was a web cartoon from back from, I don't know, it was a web-based Flash cartoon from years back. There's this character named Strongbad, and like he's always like doing pranks and stuff like that. And there's this one episode where I can't remember what happens, but basically he pulls a prank off on this other character, and the character just is completely oblivious that a prank was pulled on him. He just like takes off as though he won, and it's like this line just reverberates in my head all the time when I see these people. It's like, even when I win, they still win. You know, like they just like, it's like even when I win, they still win. They just they don't, because they're not smart enough to even understand the fact they were gotten. You know, like so it's like it doesn't even like register with them sometimes. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna go and see if I can get her settled back down. She's being fussy right now, so I'm gonna go settle her down, and I'll see you. I guess I'll see you if you get back on tonight. Maybe I'll see you on tonight, and otherwise I'll see you tomorrow at 5.
Yeah, I might stream during the day tomorrow too.
All right. I don't know why I wouldn't be around. I'm gonna try to talk to those people about that peer thing, but that's like the only thing I've got really planned right now. So
yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I will. Maybe I'll have something to talk about when I come on stream next time. See you later on. Bye.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Okay, well, I'm ready to end, but YouTube's clipping that video as we speak. They said it takes a while, and then hopefully it'll go back up, the woke AI. I'm also wondering, because I downloaded a bunch of these. It was a site with free, they said it was free on the site, video clips like from Pixelbay and some other site. But I wonder if maybe it was the video clip, not the music, that they were targeting. Because I did the video, the intro video, and I played the music with it. So maybe but it's just random abstract imagery. Like a computer could have generated it. It doesn't seem like anything anybody would have copyrighted. So that could also be what they're claiming is the video portion. But nevertheless, I'm not sure what to play you out on today because of the copyright thing. I like that track. I guess I won't do this Garden Head cover. Let me delete that. Our Lioness cover. Let's see what this sounds like. See, that sound already sounds Indian. I'm scared to play anything Hindu. Those 2 little seconds or not even 2 seconds, might give me a copyright strike. That's not good ending music. Let's just do the one we started with. Okay. I'm going to end it, and I'll either be back tomorrow during the day, or we're watching that Alien streaming movie at 5 o'clock Central. So if you need the link, just contact me. And then we're going to do a discussion afterwards. Oh, I didn't realize you could. Okay, here we go.
Give the fuck back before you're torn apart. Your pact with the devil ain't stronger than the holy arts. arts. And don't be trying to bring that shit in here where we operate the knowledge that inspires your darkest fears. You sit there bragging, wearing some robe you made. What you gonna do? You first world pagans can barely throw shade. Before I come to cunt you down in silence, here's a quick lesson in the spiritual science. You see, robe is to bath, as bath